So you're over 30, maybe over 40, and you keep hearing about this booming tech world. And you're wondering, did I completely miss the boat? Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. We're going to cut through all that noise and anxiety and look at what the actual data says about making a career switch into tech a little later in the game. It's that nagging question, isn't it? The one that pops into your head late at night. You see all these young tech founders and whiz kids, and you just can't help but ask yourself, am I just too old for this? Is it too late for me? Oh, you know this scene. It's 11 p.m., you're just endlessly scrolling through LinkedIn, and bam, there it is. Another person who looks like they were just at their high school prom gets a promotion to senior lead architect of something or other. And you feel that little knot form in your stomach, that voice that whispers, you're falling behind. You missed your chance. It's a horrible feeling. But you know what? It's also super common. But here's the thing, that feeling, that anxiety, it's not based on facts, it's based on fear. So let's be the antidote to that fear. Let's look at the hard numbers, because honestly, the data tells a way more optimistic story. Okay, first number for you, 300 plus. A huge study from Free Code Camp found over 300 developers who got their first tech job in their 30s, 40s, and yeah, even their 50s. And we're not talking about some tiny unknown companies here. We are talking about jobs at Apple and Google. And that's not just some random fluke. Take a look at Career Foundry. They're a big deal in tech education. Almost half, 47% of all their students who successfully pivot into a tech career are over the age of 35. This isn't the exception anymore, people. It's actually becoming the rule. In fact, you know what the new normal is? Changing careers. A wild 70%, that's 70, of the entire global workforce is actively trying to make a career change. So if you feel like you're stuck in the wrong job, well, congratulations, you're actually in the majority. And if those stats still haven't convinced you, maybe this story will. Get this, a high school French teacher in her 50s, she decides to take some free online courses, teaches herself to code, and lands a job as a software engineer at Apple. Just let that sink in for a second. It just goes to show you it doesn't matter where you start. What matters are the skills you're willing to learn. Okay, but let's be real. It's not all a walk in the park. There are two giant elephants in the room that stop people dead in their tracks. The first is ageism. The second is the rise of AI. So instead of ignoring them, let's just turn around and face them head on. You see, there's this massive gap between what we think hiring is like and what the data shows it's actually like. Let's break that down. Fear versus reality. All right, this is where we just obliterate fear with cold hard facts. Let's go. The fear, only young people are seen as a fit. The reality, 86% of employers are totally confident hiring bootcamp grads, no matter their age. Another fear, my background isn't in tech, it's weird. The reality, nearly 80% of hiring managers are actively hiring people from non-traditional backgrounds. And the big one, the fear that it's just too late to learn. The data shows that almost 70% of developers working today are mostly self-taught. The message is crystal clear. Employers care about what you can do, not how old you are when you learn to do it. All right, elephant number 2, the big one. What about AI? Is it just going to swoop in and make all these tech jobs disappear the moment you finally get one? The data here is probably going to surprise you. You see, AI isn't the great job killer everyone fears it is. It's actually creating a net increase in jobs. We're looking at a 21% positive swing in hiring. So yeah, some jobs get automated, but even more new ones are being created. We're seeing this massive demand for roles that literally didn't even exist a few years ago, like AI prompt engineers. AI isn't shrinking the pie, it's just changing the recipe. So, we've dealt with the fears. Now let's talk about your secret weapon. Because this is where the whole story flips. Instead of your age and your past career being a disadvantage, we're going to see how it's actually your single greatest asset. That career you spent the last decade in, the one you think is totally irrelevant, it's not. It's gold. You know how to solve actual business problems. You know how to manage projects and talk to people who don't know technical jargon. You know how to navigate office politics. Tech companies are absolutely desperate for these skills. Let's be frank, you speak human, not just Python. And that is an invaluable, priceless skill. And listen to this, you don't even have to become a hardcore coder to break in. Just look at these amazing, high-paying jobs where your past experience gives you a huge advantage right out of the gate. Got a background in business? You're a natural-born product manager. Great at communication? Hello, AI prompt engineering, a brand new field that pays 6 figures. Your experience isn't a bug, it's a feature. Okay, so you're fired up, you're convinced it's possible, but how do you actually do it? Let's dive into a realistic, no fluff, no BS game plan. First things first, let's get our expectations in check. This is not an overnight thing. From the day you start learning to the day you get that first job offer, you're looking at a realistic window of about 9 to 18 months. It's a marathon, for sure, not a sprint. But it's a marathon with a very, very clear finish line. So how do you start running that marathon? You break it down into tiny, manageable steps. Here's your first 90 days. Month 1 is all about exploration. Take some free intro courses online, hang out in some communities, and just pick one path. Don't try to do everything. Months 2 and 3, that's when you build. Study consistently, build 1 or 2 small projects, and start talking to people. After that, you launch. Polish up that resume, start applying, and remember to frame all that past experience as the massive asset that it is. So we've covered the why and the how, but that leaves us with the biggest question of all. After all that time, all that effort, and maybe some money, is it actually worth it? Let's just look at the return on investment here. The investment is about 9 to 18 months of your efforts, and anywhere from $0 if you self-study to maybe $15,000 for a boot camp. The return? An average starting salary around 69 grand, which jumps up to about 95 grand by your 3rd job. And that's not even counting the benefits like flexibility and, actually enjoying what you do for a living. The numbers really do speak for themselves. Look, it's so easy to get stuck thinking, oh, if only I'd started this 10 years ago. But you can't build a new career on regret. Action is the only thing that works. And all the data we've looked at shows that the opportunity is right here, right now. So here we are. The data is clear. The path is laid out. People just like you are making this happen every single day. It's not a question of if it's possible anymore. It's not. The only real question left is, are you going to be one of them? Will you start?